What are the mini smiling critters in Poppy Playtime Chapter 3? This has been a question I haven't seen anyone bring up, and of course it's a pretty interesting one. Are the mini smiling critters just robots with AI roaming around the place hunting for people that's not supposed to be there? Or are they real living toys just like the Bigger Bodies Initiative, but smaller body? Well, that's what we're going to be looking at in today's video and coming to the conclusion of what these little dudes actually are. First of all, we could definitely find out that they are a real living toy because you can see they have blood and fleshy parts all mixed in with the toy parts, showing that of course they all have living bits inside of them, showing of course the blood, the tissues, and then you got the plush fluff. So we could definitely say that yes, these dudes are living and they are not like robots or animatronics with any type of AI. But now the question is, if they're living, what's possessing them? How are they moving, and what really are they if they're living? So we don't know one thing. It could just be a mindless monster just walking around with his duty, or it can actually be a kid stuck in the little plushies. Let's go in and actually dive a little bit deeper into that. With one thing is, we know these dudes cannot speak. They only make little mumble jumble noises and make little like animal type noises, hissing, and all the stuff you expect little animals to do. You don't expect really kids to do that unless you go to like, I don't know, a preschool. Rest in peace. And we do know that they, don't really have like a really good voice box, because the bigger body versions like Catnap and Dog Day both have voice boxes, like in this VHS tape. We literally hear them talking about how Catnap's voice box is broken and now sounds all a little bit more evil and distorted than of course Dog Day does. So maybe the mini smiling critters did have voice box, but got damaged, making them only be that little mumbo jumbo, all scrambled words, not able to actually make a full sentence. Or two, they literally just have no souls. No kid is in them, and they're just some type of random, mindless beast walking around the facility, just being failed test subjects. Any of these can really go, because there are, like I said, a lot of different reasons for what these dudes are and what they can actually be. But another thing is, they could actually be animal test subjects. We know in labs and medicines, they test all the things on animals first before they do it on humans. And what if they're testing the Bigger Bodies Initiative but with animals first before testing out the kids and putting real people into toys? So what if all the mini little huggies, or all the mini little toys in the factory, including the mini smiling critters, are just animal test subjects? That's why they cannot speak, that's why they make animalistic noises, that's why they act like animals, but also bleed like they're a living being. Because what if they're, like I said, just animal test subjects? This would of course make a lot of sense too, and in my idea this is probably the one theory or one evidence that I definitely want to stick to a lot. But the sad reality is that, knowing Playtime Co. and what they really do, this is probably what it actually is: failed experiments and lost kids. Before they probably made the Bigger Bodies Initiative for all the bigger smiling critters, they probably just made each of the mini little critters. When they failed, they just throw them in the playhouse and let them slowly just go and consume the whole thing. Or maybe they're in the lab and they all just broke out into the playhouse. Isn't that another interesting idea of where the smiling critters were initially? Because I doubt all of them are just chilling around while the kids were playing in the playhouse. But what if they were failed experiments and they're testing out the kids, to put them in and get them ready for the Bigger Bodies Initiative, or a bigger version of them, and whoever was successful, maybe they swapped into bigger version, or they know what to do right the next time to get the next kid just right for the bigger body version. We do know lots of kids died, but we do know they died for multiple different reasons. Hey, this is the halfway mark where I like to ask you guys to please go and subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, or if you already are subscribed, you can always just like the video, comment on the video. I will always reply to everyone who comments on this video within the first 24 hours, so go try it if you don't believe me. Or just continue watching the rest of the video. Or even just sharing it. Any of the above will really help out this channel, and we're trying to hit 75,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I have something really special planned out. Been working on it for like, I don't know, a few days. It's not that big. It's not my other secret project. It's something else a little bit cooler for y'all, you guys. Also, renders using the thumbnail and video was made by PKFNAF on Instagram. Please go follow them. They have amazing art. So if you don't want to miss that, definitely want to go and subscribe. I do lots of different Poppy videos, but I'm also sorry for taking more time in your video. Please go and enjoy the rest of the theory. Because we know, like we said before, the playhouse, has a lot of different kids roaming around. And those kids mainly all slept in Home Sweet Home because Playcare is, of course, a on-site orphanage. So there is a bunch of kids, and of course, we don't see any of those kids now. We don't even see the bodies. This could, of course, be for two reasons, like Poppy said at the end for the Joy tape. They kind of killed everyone and did not discriminate against adults or even kids. So we could have lost half those kids because of that, or half the kids in the Home Sweet Home were being tested on and of course converted to failed experiments, being the mini smiling critters, and whoever was successful, or when they found a successful way to make them, they made all 8 of the Bigger Bodies Initiative smiling critters, which we do know existed at one point. I literally have a whole entire video here, also a theory if any of them can even return for chapter 4. But we do know that this is of course another possibility that happened, and knowing Playtime Co. and how they're going to a darker and a more saddest type scary setting and theme, this is probably a more realistic one to think of. But no matter what, we do know that these mini smiling critters are living no matter what, because the eyes are also one good indicator. You guys can see under the little plastic shell eyes, they have their real living eyes that they can actually see and hunt down their prey, and it's like little white circles, and we all know why these little white circles also look familiar. Dog Day and Catnap, the Bigger Bodies version, also have these exact same eyes, just of course a lot bigger. These eyes are of course a lot smaller because they are the mini smiling critters. And every single one of them has that, of course indicating and trying to show the player and everyone who plays the game that they are a living being. But the only question is, are they failed experiments from kids or workers? Are they actually just little animals? Do they have nothing in them and they're just living experiments just trying to do something? We sadly have no entire idea, and all these theories can really just point to what we actually think these mini smiling critters are, but sadly, like I said, there is no notes, no real VHS tapes, nothing really to explain what these are. Not even Ollie can help us explain what the mini smiling critters are. We just know they're ravagers and little animals that want to go and eat whenever they can. And with all the chew marks and bite marks and all of them, they definitely look like they're fighting each other, trying to get a bit of the food in action. But we could, of course, still go and connect the one little dot. Let's say we don't want to throw out the whole robot AI theory just yet. Why? Because many people could, of course, say that the audio box sounds robotic and the eyes could just be LED eyes, and the blood could just be blood from them eating kids or just getting blood on them from the Hour of Joy incident. That could be a whole different theory of these guys are actually robots. And to, of course, connect that dots if they were actually robots, which I do not believe in, but we always got to put every possibility out there as a theorist. We do know that Playhouse is a place for them to play. So what if they just turn smiling critters into little robot smiling critters, put an AI into them, and then have them just walk and roam around the facility? Just let them chill around and play with the kids. And of course, when the Hour of Joy happened, they got all destroyed, got blood on them, and they happened to look like this. And what if those little white eyes are actually little mini LiDAR sensors that let them scope the area around with some type of advanced AI, even though LiDAR sensors are supposed to be red, but that's totally fine. Like we said, guys, this is just really a small theory. But yeah, you could really tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think the mini smiling critters are alive or living beings? Or do you think they're just robots with AI? I'm definitely going toward living beings, and tell me in the comments below, which one do you think they truly are? Kids, adults, I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments below all your theories for what do you think they are, and do you think any of them will appear in chapter 4? I definitely do think they will, as little like dead plushies on the side and dead experiments, but that's really the maximum. I don't think they're really going to be that important. Maybe one might walk up to you, do a little jump scare, and then die, or you just shock or kill it. I don't know, but I do feel like they will pop up in chapter 4 in some way. Just let me know all your predictions in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Don't forget to watch this one to get more ideas about the Bigger Bodies smiling critters, and of course this one to see the new orientation notebooks that talks about the Bigger Bodies initiative, and of course the smiling critters.